Good evening, bonsoir. My name is Caroline Barrière, Program Manager for Media Relations here at the city, and I'll be your moderator tonight for a press conference. Joining us tonight at the table, Mayor Jim Watson, Charles Bordelot, Chief, Ottawa Police Service, John Manconi, General Manager, Transportation Services, Miles Cassidy, Chief, Ottawa Paramedic Service, and Paul Hott, Deputy Chief, Ottawa Fire Services. Also joining us and seated in the front row, Councillor Alan Ubley, Chair of Transit Commission, Councillor Jeff Leeper, Kitchissippi Ward, Steve Kanalakis, City Manager, and Joel Arden, MPP for Ottawa Centre. Mayor Watson will now say a few words. He will be followed by Chief Bordelot and John Manconi. Le maire va dire quelques mots et il sera suivi du chef de police, chef Bordelot, et de John Manconi.
Merci beaucoup. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs. We're here today to update you on the horrific incident that took place this afternoon when an OC Transpo bus collided with a shelter at Westboro Station. As has already been mentioned, I'm joined by two of my colleagues, Councillor Hubley and Leeper. We also have with us Jim Montgomery, Office of Emergency Management. As you're aware, during the afternoon commute at around 3:50 p.m., bus number 269, traveling to Bridlewood, collided with a section of the shelter at Westboro Station. Our report indicates that 23 people were injured in the collision, some very seriously, and transported to the hospital. It is with deep sadness that I report that there were 3 confirmed casualties, 2 of which were on the bus and 1 that was on the platform. Speaking on behalf of my colleagues on City Council, our hearts and condolences go out to all those injured, those family members who have lost loved ones and their families. Our thoughts are also with the others on that bus at that station, those directly involved and those who witnessed the collision. Nos pensons sont avec tous ceux qui ont été affectés, les personnes blessées, leurs familles et les familles de ceux et celles qui ont perdu leur vie aujourd'hui. We know these are extremely difficult and sad times for all those affected by this tragedy. I've asked our staff to make available all necessary resources to help those who were injured and the families of all those who were affected. We are very grateful for the emergency personnel who arrived quickly on the scene to take charge, and to the healthcare professionals who are still at this very moment doing their best to limit the loss of life at all 4 of our major hospitals. Merci à nos premiers respondants et professionnels de santé qui tentent d'aider les blessés. The city's Emergency Operations Center has been activated and all available resources are being deployed to ensure that care is being provided to all involved at the scene of this horrific crash. A family reunification center has been set up at 345 Richmond Road at the Churchill Senior Center to provide support for affected families, including crisis care, nutrition, and hydration. The Red Cross has also provided us with a 1-855 number. This is for anyone who suspects a loved one might have been involved in the collision, but who hasn't yet been able to connect. You can call, and I'll repeat this en français aussi, 1-855-797-8875, and they will coordinate with the Ottawa Police to help find that information. Alors en français, le numéro pour le Croix-Rouge, 1-855-797-8875. I've asked that city flags be immediately placed at half-mast to signal the City of Ottawa's sadness for this tragic loss of life we witnessed today. Over the coming hours and days, the Ottawa Police and Transportation Services will continue to look into exactly what transpired earlier today. But our focus for now must be to provide care and sympathy for those injured and affected by this tragic accident. Nous continuerons d'appuyer les résidents affectés par cette tragédie et leurs familles. For now, I'd like to turn the floor over to Chief Bordelot, who will provide more details about what we know so far. Merci.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. This afternoon at approximately 3:50 p.m., our 911 Communications Center received multiple calls about a collision involving an OC Transpo bus on the Transitway. Cet après-midi, vers 15h50, nous avons reçu plusieurs appels quant à une collision impliquant un autobus d'OC Transpo. Multiple officers and other first responders, including Ottawa Fire and Ottawa Paramedic Services and OC Transpo, arrived on scene. They found an OC Transpo double-decker bus, route number 269, had run into the bus platform at Westboro Station. There were multiple injuries both on the bus and on the platform. The upper deck of the bus was compromised and several people were trapped on the upper level for a period of time. Most of the serious injuries occurred on the upper right side of the bus. 23 people were injured in the collision. Sadly, 3 people suffered fatal injuries. Il y a eu 23 blessés et malheureusement 3 décès. Je veux aussi exprimer mes condoléances de la part de toute la communauté du service de police d'Ottawa et des répondants d'urgence aux familles et aux amis de toutes ces personnes. I want to express my sorrow and condolences of the Ottawa Police Service and other first responders to the loved ones and the families of those individuals involved. Several of the injured remain in serious condition, and we continue to monitor their condition. I want to thank the first responders from the Ottawa Fire, Ottawa Paramedics, Ottawa Police, and OC Transpo Special Constables who worked to help the injured, free those trapped, and provide care and comfort to all those involved. As you can imagine, this is a very chaotic scene. Emergency responders were able to take control and assist those injured. An investigation is now underway on the cause of the collision. Along with the dozens of police officers who arrived on scene, 6 collision investigation unit officers are now investigating the matter. The driver of the bus was detained on scene by police and will be interviewed at our police station. Le chauffeur de l'autobus est détenu et sera questionné. Nous interrogeons plusieurs témoins. Si vous étiez à la scène plus tôt, vous avez des informations, appelez notre unité des enquêtes sur les collisions au 613-236-1222 au poste 2481. We are also interviewing multiple witnesses and ask anyone who was on the scene or left the scene or has information about this collision to call the Ottawa Police Service at 613-236-1222, extension 2481. We are working with our partners from the Ontario Ministry of Transportation and Transport Canada. The Ministry of Transportation of Ontario is assisting with the inspection of the bus. Transport Canada is also conducting a study on serious collisions. This will be a long investigation. Our investigators will be working through the night and into the morning to document the scene. Ceci sera une longue enquête et nous serons à la scène cette nuit et demain matin. Des fermetures de routes seront en vigueur. Road closures will remain in place, and we ask people to continue avoiding the area, and we will update you on any road openings. Thank you. Merci.
Good evening, bonsoir. My thoughts are with those affected by this tragedy. Bus route 269 runs from Mackenzie King Bridge out to Bridlewood in the south part of Canada, and that bus could have been holding up to 90 passengers standing and seating. There were customers at the platform station. We do not know how many people were waiting. Our transitway is in detour, and we're experiencing obviously delays to service, and we're working with police services and our traffic management staff to manage the detours. We are putting out information to the public and our customers through all our various channels. Tragedies such as this impact all of us, and even if we don't know the victims personally, we hurt for those that are impacted. The safety and our security of our transit system and our riders is our top priority. We're taking every necessary step to establish all of the facts and will cooperate fully with any investigation. I want to thank staff for coming together and all the departments that are assisting us on scene, and we're responding very quickly to address the needs of customers, residents, and the public. The entire OC Transpo family is moving through this process and working diligently throughout the night. There is still a great deal of amount of work to do. It's a multi-departmental effort, and we're pulling together to continue to provide resources and answers during this tragedy. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you, Mr. Manconi. So at this time, we will now open the floor for questions. Please state your name and outlet you are representing. Nous allons maintenant procéder à la période de questions. S'il vous plaît, mentionnez le nom de votre média ainsi que votre propre nom. Merci.
C'est très préliminaire dans l'enquête, donc on n'a pas de détails à ce que La cause de l'accident, c'est ça que nos enquêteurs sont en train de déterminer et ça va prendre du temps à déterminer exactement ce qui est arrivé. Donc, on va faire les entrevues avec tous les témoins, les passagers qui ont pu communiquer avec et aussi saisir n'importe quelle vidéo qui aurait pu dans les environnements pour nous aider à l'enquête. So the question was with respect to what caused the collision. That's the purpose of the investigation. Our investigative unit involved with collisions is speaking to witnesses, gathering evidence. We'll seize any video that may have been available in the area to determine exactly what caused this collision.
Next question.
Julien Paquet avec le droit. Pouvez-vous me parler un peu de comment c'était le travail dans ces circonstances-là où il fait très froid, en train de gens en même temps?
Il n'y a pas de question que répondre à ce genre de scène dans n'importe quelle température, c'est très difficile. Les premiers répondants qui ont été sur la scène, qui ont répondu à la scène, ont fait du travail superbe pour amener du service aux blessés. Il n'y a pas de question que quand la température est dans les centigrades comme on a aujourd'hui, ça fait le travail plus difficile pour ensuite la neige pour ramasser les preuves qu'ils ont là. So, responding to any type of incident like this is tragic and it's very difficult. It's a chaotic scene. The question was around the weather. There's no question the weather adds to the complexity of the scene, but our first responders are professionals and they've done tremendous work in order to render assistance to the victims, commend the fire service and paramedic service in extricating all the people that were injured on the bus safely and as quickly as possible.
Chief, you said the driver was detained. Was he or she arrested? And just more on the driver, Mr. Manconi, can you tell us about him or her, his or her experience at the wheel, driving an OC Transport bus? And also, what have you heard from him or her at this point? And also, if he or she has been injured as well?
I can advise you without getting into all the details. The driver of the bus, there was a requirement for us to arrest her at the scene, and she's been transported to our headquarters for interviewing.
Question, Joanne?
Joanne Canello, CBC News. I guess it's for Mr. Manconi. This is the second very horrible tragedy we've had with the double-decker bus. After the first one, Transport Safety Board recommended further crash worthiness for the double-decker buses at the front, more bumpers. Were those recommendations undertaken? Thank you.
Well, you recall the TSB report was very crystal clear that there was no issues with the double-decker bus from a maintenance perspective and from OC Transpo's requirements to maintain them. We do pass all MTO inspections and so forth. With respect to the crashworthiness piece, that's a federal general mandate. That's not something that we govern. The new double-decker buses do have bumpers on them. I don't know if that was one of the more current buses. And that was the designer did that on their own. So everything that we needed to do in that TSB investigation has been acted upon, and a reminder that there was nothing that pointed to double-deckers being a concern for customer services.
Yes.
Follow-up, and I do want to make clear, yes, the report says that we have followed, the city has followed all of the regulations in place, but they did say there's some concern, they had concern about the existing regulations. They felt there should be more traffic worthiness for these double-decker buses. They have such a flat front, they wanted a bigger bumper. Did you folks ever discuss that with anyone? Anybody at the city follow that up? Is that a concern you had?
It's not a concern I have. We did follow it up. As I've said, the new buses have bumpers on them. The city did have some undertakings to do with the video displays. As you recall, we have done that work. And TSB monitors our work on an annual basis to get updates from us. The only outstanding item that's there, which we've acted upon, is the grade crossings at Fallowfield, which we have undertaken the environmental assessment for that.
Ne-
En français, la même question sur les autobus à étage et les liens qu'on pourrait peut-être faire avec l'accident de 2013.
Alors, avec l'investigation de le TSB, on a fait toutes les choses que c'est obligatoire pour la ville. Les nouveaux autobus double-deckers ont un bumper d'avant. Je ne sais pas si cet modèle qui était aujourd'hui, c'était cet type. Et l'autre chose qui était dans l'investigation, c'est qu'il n'y a pas de problème avec le maintenance ou les inspections de l'autobus que aussi Transport fait. La suggestion de faire l'autobus différent, c'est une chose que c'est réglé par le gouvernement fédéral et l'industrie.
Prochaine question, oui.
Je voudrais juste revenir sur l'état des blessés. On parle de 23 blessés, 3 morts. Pour ce qui est des 23 personnes qui sont blessées, est-ce qu'on a leur état de santé? Est-ce qu'il y en a certains dans des états critiques? Do you speak French?
I'm sorry.
Okay, can you just answer in English? So, is all the person have been hurt? Are they on critical situations or?
So we transported a total of 25. Sorry. We transported a total of 25 patients from the scene. 14 of them were in critical condition and 11 in serious condition. We've completed our operations at the scene.
Prochaine question.
So, Mr. McConnell, can you go into just to John's question about details about this driver and anything maybe you could share about her?
I'm going to hold off commenting on the driver because there's an active investigation, as Chief Bordello has pointed out. So the driver is with police right now. We will obviously do everything that police directs us to do, and we'll release details when we can.
Yeah.
And sorry, just for the chief, can you go into is that normal procedure or was there something that led you to arrest that driver as opposed to just taking him to the station for questioning?
What I can tell you that something led us to having to arrest the individual and take him to the station.
En français?
Les événements sur la scène ont porté à ce que nos agents été obligés d'arrêter le chauffeur de l'autobus et de la transporter au poste de police.
Quel genre d'événement est-ce que ça peut être, ça?
Je ne rentre pas dans les détails de l'événement. I won't go into the details.
Prochaine question.
Just clarity on the numbers. Jim Bronfield, the Canadian Press. 23 injured plus 3 fatalities, so 26 people affected in all. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Next question.
Michael Victoria Global, gentleman from the paramedics, can you give us just an idea of the nature of the injuries? You just give us a range of, some of the things people suffered when they were transported to the hospital.
So I don't have particular information on the injuries. It's a trauma scene, so you have crush and impact, blunt trauma injuries that would that affect the people.
Chief, there are some reports about perhaps ice being on the transway. Have any of your officers relayed that information to you?
So road conditions and a thorough examination of all the environment around the collision scene is part of the investigative process, and that'll be part of the final report as to helping us determine exactly what took place.
Yeah.
Peut-être M. Watson, peut-être vous un message de la population. C'est-à-dire que ce que vous êtes leur dire, peut-être pour les rassurer qu'il y a des choses qui ne soient pas au courant des prochaines semaines, pour sécuriser peut-être les bus ou.
Non, mais certainement, notre responsabilité pour les prochains jours est de travailler avec les familles qui ont perdu les membres de leur famille et des blessures. Certainement envoyer plus d'informations aux familles et des personnes qui sont blessées. La police est maintenant responsable pour les prochaines étapes, pour l'investigation. Et certainement, notre bureau du transport en commun va travailler avec la police s'il y a des recommandations au court terme ou long terme.
La dernière question, s'il vous plaît. Last question. Yeah.
For Mr. Manconi, I know you're not really speaking on the ice, but what generally is the speed limit along the transway, and could that have maybe played a factor in this?
Again, I won't comment on the investigation. The speed through the transway varies depending on whether you're on the straight stretch or curves and so forth. From a maintenance perspective, it is a Class 2 roadway, so 174 gets the highest maintenance service, and the transway is right up there, and that's maintained by our Public Works Department, so there's regular dedicated vehicles on that.
Sorry.
I don't have that. We can certainly follow up and get you that.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mayor?
Just to remind members of the public, if you believe that a loved one may have been involved in this tragic situation, you can call 1-855-797-8875. Le numéro pour le Croix-Rouge pour obtenir plus d'informations, c'est 1-855-797-8875. Thank you all very much. Merci beaucoup.